Everybody, it's that time, man. We're fixing to break down the Fyffe and Collinsville game from an X's and O's perspective, and what we've seen on film, and what we've seen in real life, and we're putting all that in a pot. And we're gonna come up with the breakdown of this game. A couple of notes. Shout out to Collinsville, 12-1, made it further than they've ever made in the playoffs so far. On their 100th year of football, tremendous shout out to them, what they've done, Coach Willingham, his staff, the community of Collinsville. One of the most, I think we all agree, one of the most likable teams that we've been around. Yeah. Likable guys, likable coach, dynamic personalities. Nothing but good things we can say about Collinsville. They're playing at a level that's unheard of. I mean, they went through playing, and I don't know how you do this. It's a testament to Coach Willingham, but you play a ground and pound, super, super physical game at Ohatchee, and I'm talking about an all-out war, one of the hardest hitting games, which Buddy and others have said is that the game, one of the hardest hitting games they've ever seen in high school football.
Oh yeah.
And then you flip around and you have Landon Green come to town. And they spread you out, and they're throwing it all over the field, and they're running gun, fast pace, and coming in off that Ohatchee win, banged up like they were, testament to their coaching staff, and I mean, what they're doing in Collinsville as a whole.
Yeah.
They talk about that from a perspective of how hard it is. Not only that, but you're going against your fans that's sitting there telling you that this game's already won. We're just going to play Fyffe. And you got to say, hey, pump the brakes. This ain't the same North Stanton team we beat earlier this year.
There's a mindset issue there because you come out of that game, and we all saw, those of us that were there saw Collinsville going into that game, and you could tell their mindset was just they were not going to get beat that night, and they knew what type of game they were going to have to play. They knew the hard-nosed game it was going to be back and forth. They knew that, as far as just physicality, those teams are mirror images of each other. They were both going head-to-head right there, and they knew it was going to be a physical game, and that's exactly what it was. I mean, you came out of there, felt like you played a 1920 wishbone game. And so both of those teams were beat up. So, yeah, you come into next week, and you're going up against a team you've already beaten by 30. So, you've already got that going against you. That team wants your blood now, They want to get to the semifinals because everybody wants you to get to the next round. So there's a lot of things going against you, and everybody's already talking about Fyffe. Everybody. I'm sure, they've been kind of rivals for a while now. So, everybody in Collinsville saying, hey, we got to the fourth round, get Fyffe, and they're forgetting that North End Mountain's a good team. They've got a quarterback that can run all over the field. So, there may have been a little bit of focus issues there, possibly, but not taking anything away from North End Mountain, but it's hard to focus that many weeks in a row when you've got that many teams lined up. And, like I said, rematches are always tough. I don't care what team it is. It's hard to beat two teams in the same season. That's tough. That's correct. Same team twice.
And over to you, Reggie. Talk about Caleb Jones, and as we got there, what happened, and it's just a testament to what he's done this season. And big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games.
He definitely made a big-time play when we got there. We got there kind of late in the game. It was fourth quarter when we got there, and
they had just cut it to 2 and had all the momentum.
Yeah, North Sand Mountain had the ball. You could tell they were setting up to make a big drive, and possibly try to take the lead in the game. And Landon Green threw a pass, and Caleb Jones said, "Not today." He stepped in front of the ball and took it in for a pick six. And it seems like that play took all the momentum from Sand Mountain. It just they were done. They were defeated.
That was it after that.
Yeah, and Caleb's the type of athlete that has to step up and make plays like that for your team to be successful. I mean, I can't say enough about him. I mean, he's one of a kind.
Phenomenal.
Something that I told you, but to see it in person was amazing. They come out of halftime, and you're sitting there for 20 minutes, and they come up. It looked like the Walking Dead coming out of the Collinsville locker room. They were limping, and I looked over, and me and Buddy were standing there, and Caleb was limping, and Buddy said, kind of looked at him and said, "You all right?" Caleb said, "Yeah, I'm fine." And I looked at Buddy, I said, "No, he's not." But I mean, every time
his body was.
Yeah. Every time we went on the field, though, that limp went away.
Yeah, it did.
And he just fought through it, and he didn't play defense except for the last drive, 15 seconds in the first half. So, second half, I mean, he didn't come off the field, and here he is in timeouts, and when they're changing sides, offense, defense. He's limping like crazy. A lot of them were. And to see him step in front of that ball, catch it, and not only that, catch it and pick six and take it to the end zone. It's just if they make a movie out of it, it'll be a trailer moment.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Kev?
Well, I was concerned a couple weeks ago on the playoffs. It's like climbing a mountain. Go this obstacle this week. You got to go one more step. And after Collinsville Hatchie, I was like, how are they going to? And then they got to play North Sand Mountain. I thought, sure, they're not going to come out flat because what they've got in front of them. Mm-hmm. And I was more impressed because I followed Ohatchee just like you guys have, and I was more impressed with them beating Ohatchee at Ohatchee, and that's turn around and beat North Sand Mountain. And and not to take anything away from Fyffe, because the last thing I want to do is give any bulletin board material to Coach Winfield, because they're dialed in already.
Yeah, not this week.
but of the two teams, last week I thought Fyffe hadn't really been tested except for that game against Collinsville back in week 3 or 4. And I thought, how this Red Bay team would be probably the most challenging. Well, I'm logging into the Facebook and it's 31-0 at the half. I thought, well, got that solved. So much about focus. But this week, you've got a call. I'd say probably the game within the game. The biggest matchup, in my opinion, I think is going to be Collinsville's offensive line versus Fyffe's defensive line, because they've got to keep the Fyffe defense off of Caleb. Especially when they know, because they what the game plan is going to be. It's going to rush him, blitz him, however, and it's like walking up behind a pit bull and pulling its tail, and you're standing there and you know what's coming.
Yeah.
And it's just
I'm about to throw at you.
Yeah, and you ain't got you can't outrun a pit bull. So
I can sure try.
Yeah. All I gotta do is be faster than you, or you faster than me, whichever one.
Yeah. That's a bait.
But it's just it's going back to playing a team twice. Fyffe was playing a team that gave them the closest game, which still 21 points. How many people can say
that's the closest game by far?
Yeah.
Especially going into the half of that game. It was
10-3.
So Fyffe's taking it. Fyffe's taking it seriously. That's an understatement. But I'm just the mindset that those Collinsville boys have got going into this game. They've got to be confident. They've got it's just one play at a time.
If anybody can, it's going to be this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm sitting there thinking, the 100th year of football, they got them. They beat Collinsville earlier. Is this where they sneak up on Fyffe and pull the upset?
If you're a Collinsville fan, you got to have that in your mind. We're a team of destiny.
It's like it's fate.
Mm-hmm. Well, Fyffe's on a little destiny run of their own right now.
They're like 55-1.
And I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna talk about Fyffe. And this is 1 through 7A, defensive average. They're giving up 2.8 points per game, number 1 in the state. That's 1 through 7A. Scoring differential, Fyffe is number 1. They're outscoring their opponents on average per game 40.5 points a game.
Wow.
Difference in scoring.
Well, hey, they already did it the first time. They scored 3 points. It's top the average of the 2, so they've already.
Listen to this. On the season, Fyffe has now outscored their opponents 562 to 36 total.
That's unreal.
If you read between those 36 points, there's only been 3 points all season scored on 5 starters, and that was the 3 that Collinsville put up.
If you scored on Fyffe this year, you a man.
If you scored on their starters,
Yeah,
you're definitely.
definitely.
Their starters is given. I don't even know what that percentage would be. A point zero.
What was it, 9 points?
No, they've given up 3 points.
3
all year.
points. Yeah.
So you'd have to divide
That's-
3 into 13 or 13 into 3 to find those numbers out.
I guess.
0.02.
Yeah.
Yeah.
0.02. So a
0.23.
quarter of 1 point per game. A
Yeah.
quarter of 1 point per game.
0.23. Yeah.
That's a testament not only to conditioning, coaching, and you're talking about Coach Edge, Coach Whitmire, and obviously Coach Benefield, but I've never, and I went back, thank God, to our new website and looked at that Etowah defense from '94 that I thought was the best defense I've ever seen until I seen those scores, and then I seen these scores. And I don't care who you're playing. I don't care if you're playing the Sisters of Mercy each week. If you're giving up a quarter, 0.23% of 1 point per game from their starters, I don't care who you're playing. It's unbelievable. I don't care if you're playing against air.
Let's get that 96 Clay County thing.
Oh yeah. 96 Clay County.
96 Clay
They
County.
gave up 22 points.
Yeah.
I think the point on that one though is in '96 Clay County, when they didn't have the spread then, and it was still power, wishbone teams. So if you could stop the run, you could still do that. Nowadays, look at the different Landon Green, Caleb Jones, some of the people they've played. You know what I mean? Red Bay. I mean, they've played. I'm not saying Clay didn't, but now you got teams that's built just to score like a machine. And I think to do that against these, this team, I think it's unbelievable.
But one thing I think you're overlooking is when you have a tunnel like that.
Oh
That
yeah.
creates all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
The tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to the Red Bay.
It's a
According to the
20
Red Bay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's Clay County in 1996 they scored
22.
613 points and they gave up 42 points.
42 points. I thought it was
Yeah.
22.
I thought that, see the 1998
Well, they're right
Allen,
on pace then.
1998 Allen
I
Bryant
think
team.
it's 94.
It may be the 94 season.
I got
I think it's the 94 team that gave up 22 points. And they lost the first game 3-0, I think.
The 94 through 96 Danny Horn team.
Yep, you are correct. They lost the first game 3-0. Yep, 408 to 22. It was 22 points they gave up.
Had an off year on the offense.
I didn't want
Putting
to.
up 4
I don't want to brag with what I know, but I mean, me and Coach Horns like this. No, okay, but factor in point differential. Fyffe's at 562, about to,
Defensive average was 1.5.
yeah, per game.
Yeah.
Crazy. Now here's the thing about that. When I say all that to say this, the scary, very very scary part is, and this is a true story. Fyffe is 100% healthy now. When they played earlier this season, I'm not going to get into who was injured. They had some injuries and things like that. Now Fyffe is healthy. Now Fyffe's rolling. They're more focused than I've ever seen them. Talking with their coaches, their fans, but you'd never know it unless you're inside that huddle. They just look like this machine that goes out here and does all this, and they make it look easy. But people, and this is what upset me about that post last week, is people don't realize the work and sacrifice that they do every single day, not just from the players, but from the coaches, the community, the school, the parents. There's a lot of people that sacrifice to make Fyffe what Fyffe is. And that's what really bothered me about the post this week. And we're not going to dive into that post.
Well,
To sell that off, to cheapen that, to try
To cheapen that. To cheapen
and
hard
say,
work.
look,
That's
it's
where I
not
was going
hard
with
work
that.
that's doing it. It's this or it's this
Yeah.
or it's this. I promise you. Go with us in the summer when it's 105 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Go with us to a practice.
Right.
Let's look at their facilities, and if you look at their facilities and tell me that's the reason they're winning,
Yeah.
there's
And no snide at the facilities. No.
No.
But we've been in schools that look like colleges.
yeah,
We've been in 3A to schools that look like colleges, 2A
But to
schools.
sit there and insinuate that it's
It just cheapens what Fyffe does. I agree with you.
and it takes away from what the Red Bay players have accomplished this year. They had a very successful season. They finished
Yeah.
the year 12-1, and when their fans make assumptions like that, that takes away from what they've
I
done,
agree.
they've accomplished. And for their fans to do that, it's just not right. It's not right at
Yeah.
all. And that upset me. And I kind of hope the Red Bay people see this.
Yeah, I do too.
Hey, Red Bay, take
And
it like
I-
a man.
I'll find them on Twitter.
well. Look, I'm going to tell you this, and this may make it, this may not. But Red Bay, look, there's probably 3 teams over here that would have done you the same way.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Ohatchee probably would have done you. Collinsville would have done you the same way.
Yep.
Westbrook might would have done you the same way.
Yep.
So maybe not to the extent that Fyffe did,
I
but
think Westbrook definitely played with him.
Yeah, Westbrook would definitely
North
play
Sam
with
Mountain
them.
played with him.
sure.
I know that for a fact.
So to sit there and say this is the reason, it's just infuriates me.
Yeah,
I think it cheapens all the hard work.
Yeah,
for
not only
so many people.
Not only did it take away from the Fyffe win, it took away from what they did, and that's not fair to their kids or Fyffe kids. They
agree.
shouldn't have done that. And I'm with Josh. That infuriates
This is when
me.
social media becomes a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And the school had nothing to do with it.
no.
Right. This is when the social media
The
becomes a bad
players,
Yeah.
it's just a fan.
And the fan has not responded to my comment, and if I was him, I probably wouldn't respond either because
I heard he took his off.
well, that was very smart of him because
I agree. Now, let's flip around and talk about something else. And we've talked about Fyffe's defense. I want to talk about Fyffe's offense for a second. I want you to jump in here. That offense, you've seen them play now a couple times. That offense, talk about the pressure it puts on you and then you counter that with that kind of defense that they play, and then you get that 3 and out 1 or 2 times, and what that does to a whole game, and how a whole game can change like that.
Well, the thing is their offensive way is set up as a machine, is what it is. They've got you in a numbers game no matter what you do. They've got you in a numbers game. The way they get in formation, they're going to have more strength on the strength call than you're going to have defensively, because otherwise you're going to leave the backside open. You've got to line up to match up their formation, but the way they pull and they got their blocking backs, their wing backs, they're going to have more people out there than you're going to have. And if you try to overcompensate for that, they've got the counter to go the other way. You're going to have to watch for that. And then once in a while, they're going to pop a pass over your head, and you better be waiting for that. That safety better be watching that tight end coming out in the flat. So you better watch that.
Their passing percentage, completion percentage is
It's through the roof.
yes, and I've seen them bust plays for 60 yards. I've seen them do a 13-play drive while they got 4 yards to carry. They can do it either way. And the most impressive thing I said, and I said this earlier in the year when I went and saw them, they do not get a negative play. They do not have a negative play. If you stopped them for a 3-yard gain, you've had success. You've done your job. But now you've got to stop them 2 more times like that to make them punt, and that's going to be hard to do. You can't do that over and over and over again.
And something else I thought about Fyffe, you rarely see them make a mistake as far as getting penalties. I mean, when I think they got a penalty in the first half of that game, and I was kind of shocked because I was like, "Whoa!"
It's kind of strange.
it was strange because I was like, "They just got penalized." Like I didn't know how to take that.
The kid's gonna be running.
Well, that was a phantom call. I don't want to get into it, but it was.
Well, here's the thing about Fyffe is they are so fundamentally sound in all aspects of the game: offense, defense, special teams. 1 second you're tied with them 0-0, then you look up it's 14-0. They force you to get into an uncomfortable zone, make you start throwing passes more than doing some plays, and you start getting behind the chains. Then the coaches get into their heads, on play calling, and it's just a lot of that happens even before the game kicks off. A lot of teams,
They're in people's heads.
Yeah.
they get off the bus down by 14.
The one word that comes to mind when I think Fyffe is discipline. Discipline. They don't make mistakes. They're going to be where they're supposed to be, and you're going to have to beat them one-on-one. You're going to have to beat them one-on-one. And I will say this, the last time that Collinsville and Fyffe played, Collinsville made them work. Collinsville made them work. They were having to do long drives where they were putting together drives. The difference is, instead of getting a 4-yard carry, can you stop them on a 1-yard carry? Can you make them get 2 yards and make them work on it and get them to a 4th and 2? Because there were several times Collinsville had them on a 3rd and 3, 4th and 2, and they couldn't get that stop. This is going to be the time.
Make them snap it again.
They're going to have to get that stop
Remember
this
that?
time.
Yeah.
This is going to be the time they're going to have to get that stop and make it different.
He said, make them snap it again.
I think if you're Collinsville, if you go back and look at the footage from the first game, you walk away feeling pretty good about it. Because they did a lot of good things.
They did.
That
I remember people messaging me, was like, dude, man, Fyffe beat them 24 tries. Like, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Pretty
Well,
impressive.
I mean, compared to.
It was what, 10-3? It was
10-3 at
7, 8
halftime.
minutes. It was 10-3 in the fourth quarter with like 7, 8 minutes to go.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
scored
it
their 2
was.
touchdowns. Fyffe scored too late to put it
Thought it was
away.
too late that they scored.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it was late.
was.
They
Yeah, I
scored,
just
so.
people kill me, man. They don't watch football, but since that, both teams has gotten better.
Oh,
They really
absolutely.
have.
Yeah.
But Rowell is a totally different football player
Yeah.
at that point of the season. Zach Pyron's
Oh
a
my
totally
God.
different player. Kyle Dukes has
Dukes.
emerged now. Brody Dalton's emerged now. Has been catching everything. Malachi is catching everything and running a lot smoother now. That offensive line, it's just.
Everything's clicking at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and they're healthy. Collinsville is the top team, has got a lot of grit and a lot of heart, and I know they're going to be up there, and Collinsville's going to bring all of Collinsville. You might as well get ready of that.
Yeah, that
and
town's
then
gonna
it's
shut
just
down.
like the NCAA tournament. A lot of people's going to want to watch, the number 1 seed go down. I mean, that's just how the NCAA tournament is. So a lot of the people is going to be in the town there is going to be pulling against Fyffe, and they'll be 3 deep on the fence, 4 deep on the fence doing it. So I mean, the atmosphere's there. The stage is set for both teams. I love both teams. Coach Willingham, Coach Benefield, love them all. I've been on Fyffe sidelines all year. This is one of those things where I lose regardless. One of these two teams is going to lose, and there's going to be a lot of kids, players, coaches, and community friends that I'm going to feel really sorry for. Either way, don't matter who wins.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad I want to be at this game, but I'm kind of glad I'm not because I don't want to go through what I went through last year with Hoax Bluff again.
All right, so we're gonna close this video down. Anybody else got anything?
I just hopefully both teams when they play Friday night it's injury free because
Yeah,
you want
absolutely.
you want both teams at their best. And
Absolutely.
and I know that it's going to be a clean play game.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
A lot of
I got
respect from both coaches.
So I just hate it's one team's got to lose.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I just want to say good luck to both teams and just pray that we have a hard fought game, no injuries.
And hopefully whoever wins this game can bring home the state two at a time.
I think this thing is already done.
I honestly think whoever wins this game, the other team will pull for them to win the state.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They'll probably go watch them.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think they got that much respect, and you don't always hear that.
No.
We're signing out on this video. We're going to move into the Central Clay game.